Okay, so today we're going to learn a little bit more about the history of technology and some of the wonderful inventions that we get to use every day. So we're going to make a timeline of different pieces of technology, and what you see in front of you is an example of one of my students' pieces of work last year. So what she did is she went online and she found important pieces of technology to her, and she put them on a timeline in the correct order. So once you've done your research online, I would suggest using Google or Wikipedia. Then it's time to actually make the timeline. We're going to use a program in the Microsoft Office suite called Microsoft Publisher. So of course, to get to that, we go to the Start menu, go into Programs, find Microsoft Office, and Publisher is this one right here. Now when you start a publisher, you've got several options, but don't get too bombarded by this. Go to blank page sizes, and we're going to choose a blank page that is 11 by 8.5. You might not have known this before, but the size of a normal piece of paper is 11 inches long ways and 8.5 inches short ways. And we want this one because this one's sort of lying on its side. It's in the landscape orientation. So I'm going to click on that. And here I go. First thing, I'm going to get rid of this box right here. I don't really need that. Now really there's not a whole lot to this. On the left hand side we have this toolbar that has most of the major functions that we're going to need. One of those, of course, would be to draw a rectangle, which will become sort of the basis of our timeline. Once I've drawn it, I can go up here and I can play with its color if I want to. Make it any color I want. To draw lines, I have the line tool right here. To make text, I have to insert what's called a text box. So I draw a text box right here, and that will allow me to type. The problem, of course, is that when you first turn it on, the type is pretty small. So I need to go ahead and change the font. So I'm going to highlight that text, and up here, just like Microsoft Word, I'm going to change the font size, and I would choose something around 16, maybe even 18, so that it'll be very visible to everyone. If you'd like to, you can center your text. You make it bold, underline, whatever you want to do to it to make it easy to see. Then the last step for this particular part is to add a picture. So I'm going to click right here, picture frame, and I'm going to choose clip art, which are sort of nice little graphics that come preloaded with Microsoft Office. And I'm just going to go ahead, I'll search for computer, and it's going to find some things right away for me. When I find one I like, I can simply click on it and it will show up, and I can move it into place. And that's the basic format of what we're doing here. Okay, we're going to have a picture, a description, and a line coming off of the timeline. Now you can feel free to customize this any way you want. For example, maybe you want to have your timeline in the middle, and you want to have some of these lines below, and some of them above. That's perfectly fine. Maybe you want to have the timeline up top and have them all below. I'll leave that up to you to customize as you see fit. A couple other things that you might find useful. This one over here is called word art, and basically it's exactly what it sounds like. If I pick one of these, type a message, it will make that in the form of the word art that I chose. Those are basically the finer points of how to use Publisher to make this timeline. Do your best to find pieces of technology that are interesting and are important in some way, and make sure that you obviously put them in the right order. Okay, timeline should be in the correct order. The other last part that I think my student did before is I like how she broke up her different periods. So try to have sort of a diversity of different technologies. Don't choose everything from 2000 to 2010. Think of some older things and some newer things, and have these little labels in here that sort of break it up. I think that's about it. Good luck with your research, and let me know if you have any questions.